In this video, we'll be going over the simplified way to make DUCUNU from canned corn. Now, the most important part is making sure it has no sugar.
For the Belizean people watching, I know you're thinking, yeah, ano sa'yo, make DUCUNU now. What kind of thing you to make? But this is for the days when you don't have fresh corn and you want to make some DUCUNU. You just feel like eat DUCUNU. So this recipe is for that.
You have to go and get the recipe from Cooking with Shirani. She has the best canned corn DUCUNU, Belizean DUCUNU recipe. And I really just followed her instructions. I actually got the recipe from my cousin. And my cousin's recipe is 5 cans whole kernel corn, 1 can coconut milk, 1 stick melted butter, 1 pound yellow cornmeal, which equals to 2 cups yellow cornmeal, and then 1 teaspoon baking powder, and then salt, pepper, and sugar to taste. So what I got from Cooking with Shirani was just the order that I was supposed to do the process, which was, of course, open and drain the cans of corn. The cans of corn that she specified in Cooking with Shirani's video was to get the cans of corn that only had corn, water, and salt, not the one that had sugar added. So she explains it in her video more thoroughly about what kind of cans of corn to buy. And then I reverted to my cousin's recipe. Now we are using tin foil. You can use the husks of the corn, but that's more complicated for me. And that's typically when you're using fresh corn. So you don't have to do it that way. You can make it easy for yourself and just try to cut the pieces of foil equally. And then the more complicated part is trying to put the corn into the foil and making them into the little rectangular shapes that will form the eventual DUCUNU shape, which is a rectangular shape. It looks similar to a Mexican tamale. And if you bust a hole in it like I did with this first one, you have to wrap it again, because your whole point is it's going to go in a steamer, which is typically filled with water, and you don't want it to seep out into the steam water. So when you do have the kind of accident I had with folding this first DUCUNU, then you want to just use another foil and fold over it again, and try to make sure that you make the seams as tight as possible. That's your only goal in this process, is to make the seams as tight as possible. Make sure there's no batter coming out the ends, or else you just want to double wrap it. And that's what I did with this first one, as you can see coming up in the video. You can see that DUCUNU dripping out, so I had to wrap it again. All right, so you want to try not to put too much in there. Once these were done, this was a good amount. That was a cup. I just used the cup measurement to put the DUCUNU in the foil, and it typically makes a good size DUCUNU. And yeah, you can put less or more depending on how you want, but you probably don't want to put more than that, because then you'll end up having to have the interior bust out of the foil, so you don't want that to happen. The way we eat DUCUNU is we make stewed chicken or stewed beef or any type of meat that we have, and we serve it on the side. So we serve it with the gravy of the stewed meat we may have cooked the night before, and it's like a snack more so than a meal. My American husband wanted rice with his stewed chicken, and so I made him a pot of rice, which we don't necessarily do. We eat rice and beans, but he's used to white rice, so I made that for him. All right, so they steamed for 45 minutes, and these are the finished DUCUNU. I took them out the water so that they can, drain a little. They don't have a lot of water in them, but they need time to rest. I was proofing bun for 2 hours at the same time. The first one turned out really good. It was nice and hot, and it, melted together. It was steamed for 45 minutes. And there you go. Here is the finished product. We have DUCUNU, Belizean DUCUNU, with stewed chicken and gravy. It's the second time I've ever made this. It's a dish I grew up eating, and I'm thankful that you're watching.